Hello and welcome to another Getting Projects Done. It's a little chaotic here in this little framing here, but I assure you, we're getting stuff done. So this week, I'm getting started. Finally, I'm getting started on my mega-sized Rx-78. Finally going to get started on this guy. We're going to start prepping him up, and we are going to do up mold lines. We're going to, I don't know, like the thing is like, there's a few things, because, I mean, this kit is pretty darn big. I mean, you know, he's what, 16, 18 inches tall? It's a pretty darn big dude. Where is he? Put him in the frame. Can't even see him over there. It's too bright over there. So, yeah, we're going to work on him. We're going to do up the mold lines. We're going to clean some, we're going to dust them off a bit. And then kind of plot out how I want to go about, basically getting this guy painted. Because basically I have not glued this model at all. This model has not been glued. There's not one drop of glue on this guy. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe just go for it, you know? Maybe just do up the seam lines, kind of treat it like I would like any other model. But the thing is, though, is he's got all sorts of articulation. And I kind of want to do like the big armor plates separately. I don't know. Or I might just take my time and just kind of work the paint into the nooks and crannies and all that, right? Of course, the real big shortcut, like once I do the mold lines, the other shortcut I could do, which is also something I did consider, because initially I was thinking of putting metallics on this, and I still may, I don't know. But the other thing that I could do and get this guy kind of, done is do the mold lines, prep them up really good. Oh, no, I still got to, if I do that, I was just thinking that maybe, put a gloss coat on them, give them an oil wash, maybe a bit of weathering, I don't know, just catch the panel lines and stuff like that, and then seal it and be done. That's also another route we could go. I think, though, because the thing is like he's so darn big, and the last thing I worked on that was this big was my Phantom Titan. And, yeah. So, we are going to get started on this guy. How's the camera there? Is that in focus? Is it? Focus. That's better focus. That's better. That's better. Optimized. Yeah, so we're just going to start on the panel line. So as I've been looking this guy over, because like I said, like not one lick of paint has been applied, or not paint, but glue. So like I have seam lines that run along like the gun here. You can see that. It's a pretty obvious gap. Again, it's just pressure. Well, look at there. Put pressure on it, and that gap disappears, right? So, and objects like, for example, here, let me pull this shield off. Come on. There we go. So the shield here, for example, like I could pull this whole red plate off and this yellow piece, paint them separately, and then reattach them, as it were, because there's like no mold lines or anything like that crossing over parts. And or maybe I just glue it and just, I don't know. So many options, but I do know that it does need to be dusted, so I'm just going to dust them off really, really fast, as it were. Yeah, we'll just turn it this way here. And I'm just using an old brush here just to get into nooks and crannies. This guy has been sitting on my shelf for a while, so he is quite dusty. So, I almost don't have enough area work surface here. Oh, yeah, see. Knock that little bit right off his helmet. Knock that right off. Like I said, it's not glued. So that's the fun of Bandai kits, is that, you know, you don't really need to glue these bits. And I pull that apart. That's not going to let me come apart. How did I attach that hand? I thought the hand was 2 parts. See, I don't have my little spreader at the moment. So I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do this guy. Like, am I going to just treat this like one big model and just carefully work around the seams? Or what? It's like on the forearm here, there's seams. On the thigh here, there's actually no seams. Well, there is. It is the seam, but it follows that line. See, really the first seams that are just really, really ugly is on the shin, on this little ankle guard piece, and then right on top of the foot here. Other than that, like it's and then the forearms, but like the biceps, they don't have any obvious. On the shoulders, actually have big seams right on the shoulder here. But other than that, and the helmet, yeah. I keep saying other than that, but other than that, yeah. See, the helmet I would like to do, because I'd like to preserve. Can I pull that off? Yeah, I can. I'd like to preserve those lenses, and I don't know if I'm going to have to mask that off when I paint it or what. But the process does begin. And I don't recall if I can just pull everything apart or what. Because I'm basically just going to end up disassembling this guy, really. Because I'm pretty sure... See here. Yeah. See, he comes apart pretty easy. It's just, there's that big peg right there, right? So, yeah. Heathen Cross. Happy Valentine's Day. At those who won't be seeing the V or the D today. Funny. Alright. So, yeah, I think we can pretty much just, we can just disassemble those parts right there. The fun part is that in these joins inside here, they're rubberized kind of plastic. So actually, you know, it's not like you're going to wear down the parts, pulling them apart and everything like that. These just sit right in there. These will have to get cleaned up. I don't even know where I put the blades. I had the blades somewhere. I don't know where the hell they went. I don't know. I moved my office a few times and I don't know where all my bits went. Anywho. That arm. Can we do this? Can we get rid of this fist? Can we pull this? Oh, I don't want to break it. Oh, yeah. There we go. Cool. I do have other fists. See, I got another fist over here. It's splattered with blood. It's the dangers of having it so close to my other work area here. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to have to completely disassemble this guy. Well, not completely, but mostly. So that we can work on him in chunks. But also that gives us the opportunity to make sure that we get parts that we want and, you know, need that separation. So that comes right apart too. Pew pew. Pew 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 pew. That's a big gun. It almost looks like from Men in Black. The Noisy Cricket. That's about that same size of gun. It's a Noisy Cricket. Yeah, the hand. I'm pretty sure the hand is 2 parts. That's grabbing onto this gun. I think. Yeah, I can see the seam line there. I think I'm just going to end up applying glue all over the thing. Yeah. Because again, like I said, I did not use any glue when attaching any of the parts to this guy. So, Got nicks on the plastic. I don't know how I did that. I have dropped them a couple times. You can kind of see where he's bleeding stuff there. Well, we might as well just quit hemming and hawing about shit and just start getting to work. So, the legs. Can I pull those feet apart? Can I pull the feet apart? I can pull the feet apart. It's like disassembling Scarecrow here. Sweet. Oh shit! Which foot is which? I don't think it matters, does it? We'll leave those attached till we're ready to start working on those. But the beauty of the kit is that I can pull it apart and work on it as need be. So the point of today is to start prepping these pieces. So we've got our Tamiya extra thin glue, and I'm just going to run it along the seams and let that cure. I don't have any clamps. Do I have any elastic bands? I do not. I thought I did. I do have a few, actually. Hold on. Oh. I've got a few. Hopefully this is enough. Probably not. We got a few going. I need a file cabinet. Oh, shit. There we go. We've got a few elastic bands here we can use to hold these parts together while they're setting up. Johnny Chop Shop! You do know that Tamiya X-Thin will eat the polycap joints. Will it? Well, we're not laying it on too heavy, and I'm mainly concerned with a few of these seam lines. Because, I mean, oh yeah, I guess we have to be careful there. I did not know. Interesting. I don't have I chucked all the sprue, so I couldn't test it to see how fast it eats. But yeah, there's none of that here. This is regular styrene plastic here, but yeah, these little rubberized pieces. You say it eats that, eh? I'm kind of curious now. I'm gonna test it. I want to see how bad that eats that. I'm just gonna apply a little bit right there. Doesn't seem like a lot. Let's apply a little bit more. Love the smell of extra thin styrene glue in the morning. I don't see anything funny going on. It ate it no worse than really. It says it makes it gummy. Yeah, I can see it eating, but I mean, it's eating at the same rate as what I would see from yeah. It doesn't seem too bad. I imagine if you lay a lot down, you'll melt this stuff like crazy, but you lay too much down on the plastic and you're gonna eat the plastic away too. So anyway, interesting. All right, start laying some glue down. Do. Now there's this big gap here on the gun barrel, like that runs along this seam where these two pieces attach. Do you think I should glue that and sand it and make it all nice and smooth? Or do you think that should be left like a panel line, kind of like these details here? Nah, screw it, we'll glue it. Let's glue it. Why not, right? So we're just using glue, and we're just going to apply it right in to all these little seams here. I don't know if it needs to go the entire circumference. Normally, whenever I use styrene glue on plastics, I usually like to score the surfaces beforehand. Grim, it is no longer morning, but points for the reference. Also, hello. If I go quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. I'm concentrating. I'm thinking hard. Oop, that's too much. Yeah, it seems like the glue just, because it's extra thin, it just seems to evaporate really fast. Like, even as I finish the brush stroke with this, I can see it disappearing. So I cannot tell you how fast this is working. I'm trying not to lay too much down, because I don't want it to get too hilarious on me. If I apply a bit of pressure, do I see any elevation? Yes, I do. Yeah, I can see the seam line squeezing out. Yeah, can you see it on the camera? Let's see if I can get it to reflect off the light. Yeah, you can see the seam line squeezing out, applying pressure on it like that. So it is melting. It's doing its trick. Oop, shit. Trying not to get too happy with the glue because I don't want to. I don't want to stop any of the moving parts here. Yeah. That this looks pretty darn good. Yeah. So it is melting because when I squeeze these parts, I can see where the joint is going. You can see the plastic squeezing out as it's melting. So, yeah. Did I screw that? Oh, I think I did. I think that's a little stiffer than what it was. Can this still move? Yeah, this still moves. This bit here though feels a little stiffer than what it was, so I might have to work that a bit. Do I want to glue the hand? I probably should. Maybe just the back here, and maybe the knuckles too. God dang it! I don't like the gun is never going to be in this hand, right? Because I'm never going to attach the gun to the body. Like, what does he do when he pulls out his swords? Where does his gun go? Is it like Transformers where it just disappears? Alright. We're just going to lay a little bit of glue here into the knuckles. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I need to pick myself up some little clamps for clamping. Doing the clamps. On a previous Way of the Brush, I was talking about doing a slurry using, extra thin glue and making a slurry of sorts for filling in gaps and stuff. I have not done it. I am still toying with the idea, but yeah. Grim, neat trick tip. Oh, what? Applying a bit of pressure and making the plastic squeeze. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can see. Look at that. Where it's touching that plastic's melting. You get the little spidey webs. Can I still move this? Oh, that's getting stiff again. Oh, I put the glue a little too close. I think it was when I glued it here, I think. Because I didn't apply any glue here. Oh, I didn't do the trigger. Oh, I don't need to do the trigger. If I keep working it, that shouldn't glue. And I say shouldn't. All right, we'll give that a little while to cure. I think the hand is fine. So we'll leave that be. Put that over here. Do we need glue on the shield at all? See, because the thing is the shield is it's only 4 parts. This kit, I was so concerned because people for the longest time were telling me Gundam kits, they're so complex and oh my gosh, and I got this kit. This was gifted to me by Demon Wraith a while ago. This damn near a year ago now, I think. Demon Wraith gifted this to me, and yeah, always much love for Demon Wraith, of course. Wraith, I think it's Demon Wrath. I always say Wraith. Anyway, yeah, this piece here, the Gundam kits being very complex, and people go, oh, they're complex kits, and of course, then I seen that this kit was actually pretty good for people new to Gundam because it's just large parts and it's not terribly complex, right? So, yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to pull it apart and spray the parts separately, but I don't know. See, like this back piece here, would you paint it metals or would you just leave it the white, paint it the white, give it a panel wash, and be done with it? Shit, I don't even know what happened to the transfers. They're with my manuals somewhere. I don't even know where the transfers went to. Damn, did I chuck the transfers? Shit, I hope not. I gotta find my sheet somewhere. Anyway, let's do this hand. It doesn't really need to be glued, but we'll glue it anyway. We'll glue it in the back part here. Now I suppose we should probably glue it along the knuckles. Oh wait, where is that seam line right there? That looks like a mold line. I can't tell. See, I can't tell sometimes if it's supposed to be a mold line or if it's a detail. I think it's just a mold line. Because the seam line's running right along here inside, like where, the separating of the digits. Yeah, this thumb. Yeah, I better glue this. Let's glue it. We might as well start just gluing everything, right? Just keep a bit of pressure on that. Once we start getting into the sanding phase, that'll be a little bit of fun. I think I'm already getting buzzed on the fumes, though. Just a bit more there. Oops, that's too much. Shit. That might warp the surface. But that is glued. Yeah, just gotta be careful there. It's melting that surface. I don't want to touch it because then I end up leaving a bunch of little fingerprints and stuff in that surface. All right. Let that be. I guess we'll do the seam on the head. So like I said before, I don't know if I want to... See, if I leave it apart, then I can't take care of the seam line. So it looks like when I paint this, I'm going to have to do this pretty damn carefully. So this part's going to have to get glued. So I'm just going to pull this off for the moment so I can put glue inside there. And yeah, that's that rubberized part, right? Because it's not on the torso. Did I not get that nib? There's a little nub there. I didn't get that nub. Sloppy Chris. Sloppy. Usually with nubs, I just bleed them right off. Just like so. And this goes for all my plastic kits. Bandai, Games Workshop, whatever. Speaking of Bandai Games Workshop, where's my Space Marine? That's the question. Where is my Space Marine? That's a nub inside there. I don't know why I put my blade away. When I was assembling this, I must have been at some point going, oh, I just want to get it done. Getting impatient. There we go. Here we go. Let's shave that piece right off there. Good. All right. Let's go to the seam line. Start right here. It's a lot. Yeah, see as I apply pressure to that seam line, you can see it's kind of sticking out a bit. Oops, shoot. Too much. Damn it. That extra thin just runs everywhere. As long as you don't disturb it, it won't mar up your surface at all. But you just gotta be careful. I realize how terribly interesting this all must be for some of you. But yeah. But this is the process we gotta go through if we want to, do a good job on a piece. And I probably put myself with some unnecessary pressure. So putting glue in here. Because, this was a gift, and, I wanted to do a good job on this. There we go. That should be good. Yeah. See, as you apply pressure, you can make that seam line pop out a bit, and that actually helps cleaning that off. Bring, 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 bring. I seen the Hello Kitty Gundam. I kind of want that. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want it. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued by it. All right, so these pieces here, they're actually pretty big. See that panel line looks like a panel line. So I'm almost not inclined to like do anything to it. But here, that's not a panel line. It's a big old seam line running right along there. There's even some on the joints as well, like on the elbow here. Oh, I better take care of them. Get a few right there too. Yeah, we'll just have to be careful not to lay it in too heavily. Let's do it. Oh, let's do this. Melt a bit. Grim, there's a Hello Kitty Gundam. Well, I know what I'm getting my brother for his birthday. Yeah. I don't know if it's released yet, but it looks like there's two because my daughter showed me another one. It's another Hello Kitty Gundam. There's two of them. I can't remember what it is. But one looks like it's this Rx-78, and the other one is something else Hello Kitty. But there's like two of them. Yeah, I better put a little bit of glue on these joints here. Yeah, may as well. I think what's really the big important part is, just not going too ham with the glue. Grim, our family gets him 1 or 2 Hello Kitty gifts a year just to mess with him. Yeah, but he actually might like the Hello Kitty Gundam because it looks pretty cool. The one I'd seen not too long ago, it was like about a month ago. I seen a bunch of posts on it, and yeah. Yeah, let's do this elbow joint here. We're just going to do it just along here. Just a little bit of glue. Right there. And right there. Just to kind of melt that up a bit. I'm finding I have to squeeze it from different angles here. We'll leave that part like that for the moment. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but when you glue parts, they all of a sudden feel more solid. Like, this feels like it's got more weight now. Why is that? Why does it feel more substantial? Give it a little pressure for a bit. Do, 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 do. How do you like music going? Any of you regular Twitch viewers, is there a good music player? See, I post these on YouTube as well, so like I don't know if I can post, you know. I guess if it was royalty free music, I guess. I don't want to sit here and bop away to royalty free music though. Go bananas, listen to Kevin MacLeod for hours or something. Okay. Yeah, I still see some of these leftover nubs and stuff that I didn't do when I initially did this. I must have been in a hurry. I do that sometimes. I think these fumes are making me goofy. I might be getting loopy from the fumes. You put a little too much glue down. You only have a couple seconds before you can wipe it off before it leaves a little mark or leave your fingerprints behind. And especially on big flat surfaces like this kind of kit, you don't want that. Everybody's pretty quiet. We've already been at this for 40 minutes. Jeez Louise. Where's the time go? Where does the time go? Okay, put that up there. He's okay. Yeah. Yeah, see over here is a good one. Anyway. That's okay. That's the other good hand, right? See, there was a gap in the thumb there before. But you apply that little bit of pressure, and it comes out. Now, let's take off these sword things because we might as well do these next. Get these curing. See the big unsightly seam lines on them. Boom, 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 boom. Try not to touch those other areas. pressure. Again, with the whole pressure thing is that I'm trying to make that where it's melting, squeeze out from the seam line, because then it makes it a little bit easier when going in for, filing off the seam lines and stuff. Just blending it out a bit. Because I'm totally prepared to, do the gaps with, putty or something like that, but I don't know. But when you apply constant pressure like this, it squeezes that plastic out as it cures. And this works for most styrene plastic kits. Ba-doom. Ba-doom, ba-doom. Ba-doom, ba-doom. Try not to lay it too heavily though. See, the thing is that if you lay like a fairly generous amount down, you get lots of, reaction in the surface, but then, you have a lot of freaking glue moving around. I do like this little brush though. I didn't realize the applicator was so small. It actually might be really great for some other styrene kits like the GW stuff. Like I've been doing like my Deepkin, and they got tiny fiddly little parts that connect up to each other, and even using the nozzle styrene cement, it's kind of a pain. And I think in the near future, GW definitely will probably switch to, a jar system like this. Hell, they might even, because of their partnership with Bandai, they might even get in on that similar type of thing, or, because I'm sure the glue Citadel does not produce themselves. I don't think there's anybody in GWHQ that's pumping out glue. I'm sure it's just a rebrand. Okay. Oh, shit. Mostly happy with that. There we go. And so now let's go to the torso. So now the torso. Yeah, see, there's a few points here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good, good, good. I can just. I saw there was a gap there, and I was like, no. But yeah, I can apply just a bit of pressure and get that all. So there's a seam line running along here, here, and here. Oh, on the backpack here too, apparently. Or was that a mold line? I can't tell. I think it's a seam line. Yeah, it's a seam line. I think. I can't tell. I dragged my blade across it at some point, but I can't tell if that's a separation or. No, because you know what? I thought this backpack was one big frickin' piece. Are the rockets supposed to move? I don't think they are. Apparently they are. Yeah, no, they're not. I don't think they're supposed to move. I think they're keyed to one position. Anywho. Yeah. Let's just work our way through. Just pick a point. Just start going. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do the shoulders first. The shoulders probably can come out. Can they come out? They're ball jointed. They're Balchinians. Just do a shoulder. All right, let's put a little bit of pressure on that. Do 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 do. So what's everybody working on today? Today's what, a Friday? Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. What's everybody working on? Did you get chocolates from your secret admirer? Good. Yeah, this one here I might have to use a putty to fill that in. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to sand that properly. Some of these seam lines are just kind of atrocious. Alright, let's do this shoulder. Big old gap. There we go. Nothing a little muscle can't fix. Muscles. Grim. I'm not working on anything, but I am thinking about touching up my engines here again later. Later on, my brothers, fathers, grandmothers, and myself are eating at my father's house, though. Whoa, what? Later on, my brothers, father, grandmother, and myself are eating at my father's house, though. Okay. Well, have a good dinner. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see how you can get that little seam line to bump out a bit? Where we go? Can we see that in the camera? Anyway. That helps with the mold lines. Not mold lines, but seam lines. Too much. Okay. So get this torso press. So we can't make contact on all these here. If you see the part vibrating around, it's because I'm applying a lot of pressure. So my muscles are tensing up on it. In case it looks a little weird. It should be good though. Gap is like very, very minimal. See, some of them though, you can kind of see there's still a little bit of gap there. I'm thinking that I might end up just priming this whole thing and then just, repainting everything. What is that? Oh, it's just a piece of schmutz. Somehow, there's schmutz in my model. Boo-ba-doo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Any closer. Okay, that's it for the torso. What the hell? That's it for the torso. Guess we're on to the all-important legs. It's really these ones that I really want to take care of. Just because they're on the forward-facing side of things. Oh, you do have to take care of the calves. Why is it? Oh, because the knee was separate. That's right. The knee was one piece and just kind of clunked on. I remember now because I gotta do the back of the calves here. The back of the calves got a big seam line here. I wonder, can I separate the legs? I can. Cool. Okay. We're separating up the legs here. Oop. Knocking shit all over the place now. Okay. So, the two halves of the foot. I am thinking too that I'm going to probably have to give this like a little wash after I've done handling it, just so that, the primer doesn't have any issues. Oh. Oh, good. Good. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't really think it matters which leg. These freaking legs are identical. I can't tell. Screw it. Let's go. Let's just start doing it. I'm going to use a fairly generous amount on these seams, though. On the shin. See, press some of that right out. See how that pops out? That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Yeah, see how that seam popped out? That's what I like. That just makes it easier to get that gap. I do it for a lot of my kits. Here for this shin piece. And usually only ever really works when you do it with larger parts. Just apply a bit of consistent pressure. Use a somewhat generous amount of glue. apply that steady pressure, though, it does pop that seam. I'm sure that doing that probably affects some of the joins sometimes, especially how the parts fit together. I'm sure. But see, because the problem with doing it on one side and doing it on the other is you might separate it on the other side, but it's not the case here. This is going okay. I think it's just the foot next. Yeah, see that seam. Yeah. Good. We'll do the foot now. Grab a bit more there. Get fairly generous with that. There we go. So what's another Gundam I could pick up? I kind of want to pick up the other side. You know, the can't remember what the other faction's called. With the curved armor. Just to kind of have a good guy and a bad guy. Or maybe do I pick up another smaller version of this suit? Maybe. Possibly. I can hear things creaking. As I'm applying pressure. Probably because I'm changing the tolerance ever so slightly by moving these seams just like a tenth of a millimeter in further. That's looking all right. Let's jump to this one. What the hell is this? I thought maybe it was a chunk of plastic. Something on my work surface here. I was like, what the hell? Holy cramoly, we're already an hour in? Jeez Louise. Oh, I guess that's not too bad. Just about done gluing up parts. I imagine this is probably a very riveting stream, I guess, eh? But I will say I am becoming a very, very fast fan of this extra thin Tamiya. The Tamiya I've always used is just the regular Tamiya stuff. It had like a larger brush on it. This has got a nice fine little brush. I like it. It's very precise on where I want to go with stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to wipe this down though with like a cotton ball and some alcohol just to get some of the oils off. Just give it a quick rub down, as it were. Jeez, did you hear those cracks? That was my wrist. I have the bone density of an 80-year-old man. There we go. Good. Good. Jabba's left nut. Well, this isn't the worst Valentine's Day. My pants are off, a beer in my hand, and watch a grown man blowing on plastic toy. Har har har. Ironically, would it be that on Valentine's Day some people are playing with plastic toys? Would that be irony? I don't think it would be. Yeah, this stuff is like really, really fine. As soon as I touch a seam line, I can see the glue go shoot down even before I applied the glue to that point. It's kind of interesting. Jobs left. It depends on how many beers I have. All right, just the thighs and groin left to glue, and Then we can start with some blading and some sanding. Some sanding and bleeding. Oh, right, those little inseams on the ankle. I suppose I can always just take the foot off. There we go. Okay. That didn't seem to do anything terrible. Let's glue that to his ankle joint. Quite a bit. Oops. This ankle. Grimnir 2. Hi Chris, how you holding up? I'm holding up well. Like, am I holding up a building kind of thing? Is that what you mean? Do you want me to be retarded? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright. Stick that leg right there. And that foot. And that foot. And that leg. There. Jabber's left nut. There's the title for the show. Gluing the groin on Valentine. Gluing the groin? Groin? Gluing the groin. Gluing my groin. Probably should just run some glue here just to strengthen up the inside part here. Just to make sure that stays intact. Just like that. Yeah, we better run some down here. Just like so. And yeah, let's apply a bit of pressure just to both sides of that. Very, very gently. Yeah. Nice thing is that these plates here on the hips and sides and stuff don't need any glue because they're just all single pieces. Although I might want to glue these yellow parts. Maybe just touch them with a bit of glue so they don't pop out one day on me. Trying to impress somebody with my Gundam and the thing falls apart. Oh, it's a solid piece. Shows what I know. Yeah, let's do it with a little bit of glue. Just touch here and there. Let's just touch inside here. Like so. guess we should do the backside here too. Do his bum pleats. His bum cover. That's too much. There we go. Now then, thighs. Yeah, see, there's that line right there, but it's not, it's not like an eyesore. Oh, I guess I should glue it. And then we'll be done gluing, I think. Yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's too much. Do this in. In all honesty, this is probably something I should have took care of when I was assembling it. Because I knew right from the start I was going to, work on this and paint it and everything like that, right? But I don't know. Just got too excited, I guess, when I was putting it together. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do different stuff. I don't know how. Did I get glue on my fingers? It's a big thing to watch out for when dealing with thin glue. Getting it on your hands and stuff like that, and then touching parts of the plastic and messing stuff up. But I can, when I touch, like if I grab like a fairly generous amount and I touch a seam, I can see the glue run down the seam, which is kind of neat. That it has that kind of, quality. Greenleaf terrain. Such a such. Such a such a? Such a such a. I don't know what that means. Is that a hair? There we go. Again, that weird sensation that it's more solid. It feels. Now, is that a seam line on the leg? Or was this one piece? This was one piece. Probably have to sand that better next time. All right. So that's it for that. What was the first thing we did? Was the gun, right? We did the gun and the hand, I think, and then the helmet. I think I did it kind of in the order in which it's all kind of sitting around here. So let's grab our little sanding bit. That's a little coarse. That's a finer one. You know? I'll grab one of my sanding sticks. Where the hell are my sanding sticks? This one might be nice and fine. Yes, this is nice and fine. Yeah, definitely have to run my alcohol across this. There we go, that's better. Bit of a lip there, but let's wipe that off. I wonder if I can zoom this in for you guys. What camera are we on? This camera. And let's go here. Let's do a zoom. Change focus. Here we go. Alright, there we go. So as you can see, same line there, but still a couple gaps there. See a bit of a lip. I wonder if I should use a bit of a coarser sanding stick and then switch to a finer. Probably the better call. Just knock that surface down a bit more. Yeah, these ones are like it's like a dark blue and a light blue, and they're pretty coarse. It's a very coarse, slightly less coarse. I think this is like I think it's an 80, 60, 40, and a 20, I think. Something like that. Or 200 or something like that. I can't remember. I picked these sticks up from Hobby Lobby, if anybody's wondering where the hell I got these sanding sticks. Yeah, let's chunk this right off. Here, let's see. Give you guys a detailed view. So I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just looking to take that lip down a bit, round that edge off. And I'll have a much clearer idea how well I did here once I lay primer down. I also like to change up the angle in which I'm sanding as well. Just not to leave such a coarse abrasion marks. Sorry, I'm falling out of frame again here. Yeah, that shiny bit there, that's that glue. Not bad. So you can't even see that seam line anymore. It runs right there. I think that is not horrible. Still pretty noticeable, actually. I don't know. Oh. Camera angle's all fucking weird. Anyway, there we go. Yeah. We'll continue on. The gun I want to spend a bit of time on just because, you know, it's kind of a focal point of the model. I think if we really spend some time, you know, making it look right, it should look good. So we're going to sand it. And sand it. And sand it. Let's use this toothbrush here. Just using a toothbrush here just to pull the debris off. Yeah, you know what? I'm not really going to fret too much getting, you know, smoothness. I just want to take care of most of the really coarse lines. If I was doing this for, you know, for like, you know, the big Gundam competition or something like that, where I wanted absolute perfection, I probably would, you know, obviously spend way more time on it. Probably spending too much time on this already. But I do want it to look good. Yeah. Oh, look at the wrong damn window. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. So once the primer gets thrown on there, that'll definitely help that. Back over here again. I'm just seeing some of this line here that I wasn't happy with. What? I kind of want to go really aggressively on that line there and just kind of have that all smooth and rounded. Oh, decisions. Yeah. Can't tell sometimes which grid I'm on. What? I am mostly okay with all this. Yeah, I think I am going to go a little bit coarser. And I think I'm going to take this seam line right down. You can still see on camera here, you can still see there's like a bit of shininess where that glue is. And that tells me that I'm not sanding into that point yet, right? Whereas if it was totally flush, like here, that seam line would just disappear, right? So, let's go a little bit more aggressive. Let's go with this thicker or coarser grit. Let's see if we can't get rid of that line. Yeah, I can feel it being really abrasive under my hand here. Just a very coarse grit. Yeah, I can feel it like I can feel it jumping on the seam line. But that's okay because that's what we want. We want to take this down just a hundredth of a millimeter at a time, kind of thing. Really knock that seam line down. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be doing that. Honestly, to me, I imagine that barrel is one big solid piece as opposed to having two parts. Obviously the model it's got a separation there because of the way it's assembled, but anyway, I'm not really feeling that line anymore. Yeah, that's a lot better. I can see it now. Yeah, you don't really see the shininess too much. You kind of see here on the camera here. Yeah. See how it's a lot more taken down there. Yeah, let's go with a fine grit now. These little sanding sticks I like. Let's go with this one first. Let's try and go more this angle here. I know this is exciting stuff, right? Watching me sand plastic. Don't be surprised if by the next time we do one of these getting projects done video, that more of this has been done and I'm not just going to save it for next time, so that it's like 3 or 4 videos of me just sanding shit. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you guys out there like this. Just, the sound of sanding. It sounds like work getting done. Like sawing a plank of wood. Yeah, this definitely feels a lot better now. I don't really feel the seam line anymore. So once paint gets laid down, it should just disappear. Yeah. Yeah, it feels a lot better now. And when I look at it in the light doesn't make any obvious stops. Yeah, I think that's okay right there. I mean, we can, nitpick that further and further, but I think we'll declare a win and we'll move on. Jabba's left nut. I always go too far on round objects and end up with flat bits, then spend ages trying to make them round again. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I used to do that in metal. I used to do that in wood. Yeah. No, at some point you just got to declare victory and move on. And I think I'm at that point now where I'm going to declare victory and move on. Because this whole thing, right? This whole piece, it's all rounded, and so it's very easy to sand off, work that seam line down, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I made a flat point. And when you paint it and you throw that gray primer on and you get that uniformity, you see those apparent mistakes and you're like, I should have fixed that. Or you see the sanding marks, you can see like the little gouges, and it's like, oh, come on. Yeah. That's why sometimes it helps when you look at it in a really bright light and you can see if there's anywhere you got to go back over it. Like I can see here, there's little teeth marks. Let me see if I can get the angle for you guys in the camera. Yeah, you can see right there. There's a little too much of aggressive sanding there. But yeah, that's how I use the light with my lamps, and just check for that kind of thing when I'm sanding. Now, mind you though, I don't sand models too often. Pewter models way back in the day, yeah, there was lots of sanding. But I don't play with a lot of pewter models these days, so. And also, too, the other one that hides it as well is changing your angle. You'll see, like, I'm sometimes going this way, and I'm changing it that way, or doing kind of almost a semicircular. Now, I'm working with a really fine grit sanding paper right now, but yeah. I'm just trying to eliminate all the sanding marks here so that it's not bad when we get to the priming phase. I mean, if I really wanted to be a stickler about it, I mean, like I could, use like a polishing bit and polish it smooth again. But what is that going to do for me? Nothing. Yeah, that feels good. That feels really good. That's smooth. That is smooth. Yeah, once that primer's on there, that should just disappear. Well, I'm sure once I throw primer on there, you'll all be checking that out going, did Chris get rid of that mold line? Did he? Did he? I don't think so. I think not. All right, let's work on this part here. Let's go with this grit first. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even check. Yeah. Oh, it still moves. Some of you may recall that I was a little aggressive with my gluing. Let's work it this way. Yeah, that's plenty aggressive. I was going to go a little bit higher, but I think that's plenty. We're just going to concentrate just on these panels here. Now that I'm spending all this time on this model, going right in for detail kind of thing, I think I might do like kind of a battle damaged suit. That's what I'm thinking now. I think I want to do a battle damage. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Should I do it looking pristine, or should I do it all messed up looking? Oof. Let's see all sorts of dust flying. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. More there. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This one's doing a really good job just planing that down to that flat surface. Just enough. Yeah. Yeah, see, like you can see just barely any little gap. I'm not too worried about that. See how the rest of it just disappears? Yeah. I'm not that worried about it. Like I said, I'm not entering this into like a competition or anything like that, so I'm not going to try and do too much. Oh, that part's got to get cleared up. Which side was I using? I always got to feel the sandpaper, which side is which. Right there. It's a little rough. Yeah, I really should have a microphone here capturing all the sanding sounds for any of you ASMR fans out there. Something about the sound of that sanding, just kind of, something about it's kind of nice. People are like, what, Chris? What? Sanding? ASMR? Really? Watch next week, there'll be 10 channels with that ASMR for sanding. I don't know, something relaxing with that sound. Right here. I'll put this up to the mic. I bumped the mic. Sorry, anybody who's wearing headphones. Anybody's wearing headphones, just dunk, hit the mic, and oh, my freaking ears. Yeah, this one's good enough at this grid here. This really light one here. I can't remember if it goes 80 and then 60. I think this might be like a 60 grid. Go. It's not looking too bad. Yeah. It's a little aggressive there. This side. I always got to feel which side of the stick. It just feels a little bit more coarse. Ren's Warehouse. Oh, I'm hearing it. And I'm not complaining. It's this side. Yeah. These little sanding sticks are super handy. Anybody plays with any modeling definitely would recommend picking these up for any kits. If you're super serious about knocking down mold lines. Most of the time, I don't. I'm not. But because this was a gift, I want to do a really good job. And we're finally getting to this project. I know I've been talking about getting this model done for a long time, which is why I basically started this video series. Getting projects done. Because there's just so much stuff that, I want to get to, and it's like, oh, do I have time? And oh, no, I got to work on this, I got to work on that. So if I make these part of my workflow, then, I can work on them freely. Here we go. See? Nice and smooth. I mean, I could push that even further, but what's the point? Oh, I didn't glue that. Was that? This was glue. I didn't glue that. Shit. Uh-oh. We got to glue this part. Oh. I can already, like when I was moving it, I could see there was a gap there. So, we got to glue it. It's okay. We can take a break from this gun anyway. What time we at here? How long have I been streaming for? It's already been an hour 40? Wasn't I just saying that I was just streaming for like less than an hour or something like that? Oh, how the time flies when you're having fun. And believe me, we're having fun. This may not seem like everybody's cup of tea, but damn, I do enjoy just sitting back and putzing around with one of my models. And I'm actually excited to go a little further with this guy. That doesn't sound right. We'll let that dry for a second. Yeah, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Jeez Louise. Just imagine anybody who's been sitting here watching this for a while. You've tuned in for almost 2 hours of me gluing and sanding, and I'm only as far. I started off at the gun, and I'm only still on the gun. But hopefully we're learning something here, and I can see in the light it's still a little coarse there. Jeez Louise. Which side is it? This side. See, sometimes the way the light catches, I can see the teeth, like the gouging of the sand. And it annoys me. It triggers me. Right away it triggers me. I'm triggered. It upsets my OCD, I think. Yeah, that's smooth. That is smooth. Yeah, you can't even see on the camera. I mean, you could see the discoloration of the plastic just because of the reflectivity. But that is smooth. That's the way I likes it. It's all the dust in here making me goofy. All right, let's go with this part here before we even worry about this thing here. We can let this cure for a bit. Give it a little squeeze. 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 God, I'm excited for that movie to come out. If you don't know what movie I'm talking about. And just squeeze. It's supposed to come out in December. The new Dune movie is what I'm talking about. The new Dune. I'm excited for that. All right, we're gonna go really coarse here on the tip here. Coarse on the tip. Switch to the not so coarse. Yeah. There, look at that. That looks good. Me likey. Something very satisfying about just sanding stuff. I think I already said that, didn't I? So yeah, in the next episode, I'm gonna try and get all this sanding done before the next episode, so that we're not doing 2 episodes of me sanding crap. But it all depends on how busy I get. Switch sides. Oh, you know what? That's the frickin' seam line right there. Alright, we're hitting it with some glue. Yeah, we're hitting it. We're doing it. In fact, we're going to hit it with a fairly generous amount. Yeah. Melt that plastic. Melt it. Melt it. Dust all over the place here. There we go. Apply a little bit of pressure there. Perfect. 8 minutes left of the show. Oop, knocking stuff over now. You know what, we'll leave that alone for a while. Let's play with this seam right here. I am digging it. Let's go right there. Use this really coarse one here first, just to really kind of pull some of the material off. Pull it off. careful though, because we don't want to leave a flat point. Let's really see a lot of the dust come off when you do that. Still see this right there along there. See, it's kind of shiny. We need to take that all the way down. Take it all the way. Got little gouge marks in there. Probably can see them there in the camera. Yeah, you can see the little gouge marks there. You have to resurface that. This part here is okay. Gotta get that side. You can see where it's not quite catching on that seam. There. Yeah, see, it's a lot better now. Okay. Much better. Barely see that seam line now. So a little divot there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I just wanted to polish off that side there. That side, I think. come to think of it, I probably should have had a dust mask on. Yeah, that's fine there. You can see the scratch marks, but I don't feel them. Or really perceive them in a very noticeable fashion. Not any more than any other spots. So, just finish off this part here. Let's use this one. Chunk off a bunch of this right away. Almost there. Let's switch to this finer grit side. A little bit more. Going back to the coarser stuff just to take off more material. I think that should be it. Perfect. Man, I'm throwing all sorts of dust up in my office here. Yeah, there we go. You can see how smooth that is now. I just got to come over with a finer grit and I smooth that out. You can still see some of the teeth marks there. Have I decided on a color scheme yet? No, I have not. Well, I'm thinking I'm mostly going to stay with the default, the white, blue, yellow, red. I was thinking of doing the blue in a metallic blue, and I was thinking of doing the red in a metallic red. I was thinking of like using the colors in metallics and leaving the white opaque. That was an idea. I also like the other color scheme of the where it's white, it is a darker gray. I also like that look as well. But otherwise, yeah. Let's come in with the fine grit. Fine grit is this side. we go. That edge should be smooth. And what do you know? It is. You can see in the camera, not a seam line in sight. Jabba should do it like your Eldar army. Do the Gundam in red? I suppose. But, you know, the whole point of doing like a project like this is to differ from what you're normally kind of doing, right? So if I do this like my Eldar army, then I might as well just paint more of my Eldar army, right? As opposed to doing something a little bit fresh. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. I almost want that edge just a little smoother. You can still see like the drag marks here, the teeth marks. Yeah, there, that's better. Yeah, that surface looks a lot better now. Cool. Time we at here. Holy caramoles, we're over. We're over the time. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today and, you know, joining me as I work on my Gundam. Oh, my hair's a mess. Hair's a mess. So, tune in next time. We're going to continue work on the Gundam. Hopefully, I will have a majority of it sanded and cleaned up. Hopefully, maybe primed it. I think as a lot of parts have been cleared, yeah, I think I'm just going to pretty much prime it. As everything as you see how it's all disassembled. Well, maybe the torso. I might pull the arm, the shoulders off. The groin here, I might... I don't know. I might actually pull... These two pieces here can actually still come apart. Yeah, see? Pull his bum off. So I actually might just leave it like that and just... Can I pull the groin off? Oh my god, I'm pulling his groin off. There we go. Yeah. Oh, it's that piece. Okay. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I might disassemble those so that I can get into some of these nooks and crannies. Because you know I'm all about crannies. Yeah. Anywho, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Tune in next time as we continue our work around the Gundam, the Rx-78. This is the mega size kit that I'm playing with. I'm not sure if you still can buy this. I'm sure if you hunt around, you can probably find some sellers who are obviously still selling this kit. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. Tune in next week. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below if you find these videos helpful, insightful, or entertaining, or what are the projects I should be working on if you know what I should be working on. And of course, I do this, I stream this live Fridays. Usually I start this around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard, -5 GMT, daylight savings. So, yeah. Is that it? I don't really have a closing thing on this program. Maybe I need theme music. Do I need theme music for this stream? I don't know. Either way. I'm done. I'm done. You're done. Let's go enjoy the rest of our Friday. I'm going to continue sanding. Breathing in. I probably should get a dust mask, actually. And plus all the fumes. The acetone fumes. Alright, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'll see you guys later.